Well, here we are once again. I have gone through a manual knee manipulation yesterday. Sorry for the bad video here. I'm actually holding a selfie stick, which is kind of hard to do while laying down here as I'm going through my knee manipulations with the CPM unit. This is the automatic machine that manipulates my knee, kind of bends it up and down for me. Let me show you real quickly what that looks like here, in case you haven't seen it before. But this is what it looks like. Not the greatest angle. Let me kind of get a good angle here for you. So you can see that the machine just kind of bends my knee back and forth, and that's what gives me a little bit of exercise when I'm just laying around not doing a whole lot of anything other than this. So the question has been, of course, let me flip you back here. How did the manual knee manipulation go? Well, went pretty well, but I'm not doing very well. So I'm going to put a photo here up for you so you can see what was actually done. Now, my orthopedic surgeon, of course, does not want to do this because that basically means that we didn't do what we needed to do, which was a higher degree of bend, which I was not able to do on my own. Scar tissues form as the surgery is finished, and if you don't get your knee bending by a certain time period, chances of you being able to pass a certain degree of bend is almost next to impossible. So what they do is they put you under anesthesia, knock you out, and then the doctor manually pushes your knee until you get the degree of bend that he wants. So if you look at this photo here, you can see that I have actually gone quite a bit. That's a lot of bend. I've blurred out his face and some other parts. But yeah, that is 130 degrees of bend. Now, on my own, I was really only able to do, I would say, mid-70s, upper 70 degrees when the physical therapist pushes on my knee to do it. He's able to do 130. And this next photo here, you'll see he's straightening my knee because I can't get a straight, I don't know what they call it, but I can't keep my knee straight. So I was always bent a little bit, and he's able to get a 0-degree bend. So we went from 0 degrees to 130 degrees. So you might think that this is a good thing, and in general it is, but this is under anesthesia, all right? So now the question is, can I get the same amount of degree bend by myself? And the answer is no, I can't. I went to physical therapy. Okay, let me tell you real quickly what happened. I woke up at 4 o'clock yesterday to get ready, took a shower. I have to take a shower and some bacterial type of soap thing you got to put on. And my brother-in-law drove me to the hospital. We needed to be there by 5:30. We got there about 5:15. And then, of course, there's the admittance process and all that, and then they have to prep you for surgery. Surgery was set for 7:30. It was actually not surgery, it's just knee manipulation. So, but they still have to do things like draw your blood, and they have to, they put a nerve block actually on my leg, and what that does is it gives me anesthesia so that I don't feel anything. And then, of course, they're gonna knock you out as well. So all this prep time takes a little bit. Well, it takes longer than the actual procedure, because I think they say that the procedure really only takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to do. Because all he's going to do is going to push my knee in and force it past the level, and he was able to achieve 130 degrees of bend. Now, we were probably finished and back home by, I would say, maybe, I'm going to guess, 10:30, 10:45, something like that. And my physical therapy appointment was at 2 o'clock. So that means at 1 o'clock, the transportation van picks me up at 1 o'clock, and then I get there for 2 o'clock. I was only able to do 95 degrees of bend, and that was under pain. And my physical therapist says the doctor won't be happy with that. He's probably going to want 130 out of you. Now, I don't know how you get 130 degrees when you're awake, when you needed 130 degrees when you're under anesthesia. To me, that would be next to impossible on the very first day right out of the gate. So 95 is pretty good, but again, not the greatest. Now, that number should be improving, and I need to stay flexing. So I have to be on this machine as much as I can to keep it moving. But of course, when you're sleeping, you're not able to do that. Now, this doesn't sound like it would be a big deal, but here's the problem. You all know that I had a restless leg ever since I had the original surgery almost 5 weeks ago. Well, putting that nerve block on there has made my leg tired out again. And so the pain that I'm feeling right now, and I don't know if you can see that I'm kind of suffering a little bit as this goes on, because the knee is being bent as I'm talking to you on the machine, but the pain that I'm feeling right now is more so in my thigh than it is in my knee and on the side of my knee. So it's not the knee that's really hurting as much for me right now. It's the nerve block that has messed up my leg again. This is what I call surgery pain, right? If you've been watching along, I have 2 levels of pain. There's surgery pain, and then there's physical therapy pain, PT pain. So combine it all together, I am suffering like crazy. So let me say this, and I've heard a lot of people say that as they've gone through these knee replacements, they're not happy when they first get out of the surgery, but they're happy down the road, okay? If you were to ask me today, would you do this again? My answer would be absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is the worst pain I've ever felt. I have another knee. I've got a right knee to deal with. I think at this point, I'm going to say I'm not doing that right knee. Now, you might look at this and say, yeah, well, it's too early to call it, but who wants to be in pain every single day? Really? And that's what I feel. I feel like I'm constantly in pain, and when I'm in physical therapy, I'm in even more pain. I think everyone's getting sick and tired of me hearing me complain. I'm sure you're tired of hearing this on the video as well. But the reality is, I hurt a lot. A lot. And I don't know when the end is going to happen. So if you ask me today, would I do it again? My answer would be no. I think this was probably the biggest mistake I've ever made. Now, we do hear other people say that as well. And then after things have gone in time and they're getting back to normal, they say they're very glad they did it. I may say that down the road, but if you ask me as of today, biggest mistake of my life, I would never do it again. I would never do it again. So are we doing the right knee in March or April? As of today, my answer is no, we're not doing it. Now, that could change if I see improvement and I'll say, okay, a couple of months of pain, get a lifetime of the remaining to be good, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. But right now, no way. Absolutely no way. Physical therapy is important. It's constant daily pain. So if you're thinking of a knee replacement, you better be ready for that. Now, if your knee replacement is good, maybe you won't be in the kind of pain that I am, but mine was an exception. I didn't do what I needed to do as far as getting my degree of bend, so the doctor had to go in for a second procedure to force that. If you have to go through that, I'm telling you, this is tough. Did I hurt afterwards? Not as much as I thought it would be, quite frankly. So I'm glad for that. But it's hurting now, and that is because of the leg hurting. I think it's from the nerve block. I don't know. Now, let me tell you one more thing that kind of bugs me a little bit. I did tell the doctor that I need something for the pain, or not really the pain, but for the restless leg syndrome thing I'm having, right? So he prescribes Valium, okay? And I am taking oxycodone, which is essentially the high level of painkiller. Now, my wife went out and picked up the Valium, which is for, it's actually an antidepressant, I think, drug, but it's also used for a muscle relaxant. So that's why he gave it to me. So I'm reading the instructions of, the safety things, that you get with the drugs. And let me read this to you. Let me grab the paper here. All right, let me read this to you. You tell me if you think this is a good thing. All right, here's what it basically says. This drug is a benzodiazepine. Bad pronunciation. The use of benzodiazepine drugs along with opioid drugs has led to a very bad side effects. Side effects that have happened include slowed or troubled breathing and death. opioid drugs include drugs like codeine, oxycodone, which is what I'm using, and morphine. Talked with the doctor, blah, 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 blah. All right, so here's my question to you. Are you going to take Valium along with oxycodone, when the instructions tell you its side effects is going to lead to death? Would you take it? I'm not taking it. And because of that, I have problems with the leg for, I need some type of muscle relaxant or something like that for the restless leg. But I'm not going to take this. Would you take it when it tells you you're going to die from it? I'm not doing it. So I'm suffering through both. Bad leg, bad knees. Okay, anyways, we've gone long enough with this. And if you've lasted this long, I appreciate it. I do appreciate you guys following along. But yeah, I wouldn't do this again. I really wouldn't. Anyways, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell icon so you can see when there's new videos from me. I'm sorry that there's nothing other than things to complain constantly with this knee thing, but I wish it was something better than that. And until my knee is better, I can't really make any other videos other than this journey that we're going on. I'll talk to you guys next time.